Hi gang, welcome to the Fucktard of the Week. Today we're going to talk about MS-13 one more time and Nancy Pelosi's comment when she said they're all God's children. Gosh, Nancy, you're the gift that keeps on giving. I'm thinking to myself, like, how in the hell did she get elected for public office? Because I just can't make heads or tails of her. Why? Like, why? And she's right there with Maxine Waters, just is equally stupid. Her base must be that kind of sickly stupid. Or maybe she's in an area where there's a lot of illegal aliens. But anyway, until somebody in her family is impacted by illegal immigration, until, somebody that she knows is sex slaved or hatched to death, maybe she'll take a different stance on the whole thing. I grew up near the southern border. My dad was in the military. He was stationed from New Jersey. We lived in Toms River, and we went out to Southern California. Our first place landing was in Chula Vista. I used to call it Chihuahua because it was like Tijuana. And I lived in, near the border, very close to the border. We were just a hop, skip, and a jump away. And in middle school, I encountered some gang members who wanted me to pay a toll before passing, as they grabbed me and threw me into each gang member, groping me and telling me I needed their protection. I know I was targeted because I wasn't white like everybody else. I had, some color to my skin. And, I was the jelly green Boricua, and they just, they wanted a piece of this. But I wasn't going to give it to them. So anyway, needless to say, I shoved them off me and I fought back. I had cousins, so I knew how to hold my own. And I told them I didn't need their fucking protection, and they look like a bunch of old fucking men with their little white button-up shirts and their fucking little fucking, what are those things called bandanas or whatever. I was call them bandejos. But the bandanas, I don't know, but whatever they were idiots. So long story short, Reagan comes in there, he does the amnesty. It doesn't work because he didn't uphold the border, or he didn't set anything in place because for whatever reason, liberals got their way, and they always get their way. And Chase Manhattan profited off this big deal because they made a lot of money off those little debit cards, the EBT cards that give the illegals all free subsidies and everything. A lot of these MS, would shoot people up, and then they get free health care, millions of dollars worth of treatment for free by the United States of Americans. Why kids in our country are dying of cancer and different things because they don't have access to treatment. So we want to talk about compassionate and caring. I don't have a lot of compassion for people that stayed silent about Henry or Harvey Weinstein, and staying silent about the illegal aliens molesting little 4-year-olds through 10-year-olds and sex slaving them into the sex slaving industry, or getting little kids hooked on heroin, or just raping old grandmothers, or just butchering kids, and people. And cutting them up. I really don't have any compassion for those kind of people. Just like you wouldn't have compassion for Charles Manson, who got a cult of people together to go in and hack a pregnant woman. How you can defend an animal, these animals is not even, how you can defend monsters is unbelievable. And how you could give notice to some of these people that have come into this country to break the crimes and to break the laws, and tip off them to let them know that ICE was coming after them, and putting ICE in danger. Should basically anybody else in that position that committed a federal crime, because that is a federal crime. You're basically giving away government information to the public that you shouldn't be doing, and using your position to do something very illegal, should merit an instant dismissal. And so Nancy Pelosi and all those people need to be voted out. They need to go. Schumer, he has to go. I don't know how. I think he's one of the worst Nazi criminals in the history of America. I think he's pure evil. If Satan could have a brother, that would be him, Chuck Schumer. How this guy can get up there and say the things that he says without getting a bunch of tomatoes thrown at him is beyond me. We thought George W. Bush was bad when Muslim people were throwing shoes. You remember the press? When he was giving a speech, you know, they were pretty upset with him. And I think Bush did some pretty awful things when he was in office. But Schumer and Pelosi and all those people make Bush look very mild. How anybody could say anything derogatory about Trump without pointing their fingers at George W. Bush is beyond me. I have a really difficult time with that because I voted for Mr. Bush. I thought he was for the middle class. I thought he was a caring, a compassionate person that really was going to do right by the American people, and by the end of the 8 years I realized I was really wrong about that. Never vote straight party, never again. You know, he was very open borders, very anti-American. At the time I didn't really see it until the 8 years in the huge looming debt, and then what gave way to the 8 years of Barack Obama. You know, our country is in a world of hurt because of the mistakes and these things that these people did. And because you add the open border and illegal immigrants on top of it, we're talking about 50 million people that are going to benefit from this amnesty. 50 million people that are here. And I don't think that just because they came on over that merits a right for them to stay. And whether they're MS-13 or just, you know, good old people that just want to be here, you just can't go into a country and invade, have a bunch of kids, collect the food stamps and get on welfare and just expect that the country is going to accommodate you in both the, you know, English and Spanish, and give your kids an outstanding education, give everybody everything, and it's going to be wonderful, because life isn't like that. And I think what's really racist and really bigoted is people that benefit from their illegal votes, like Nancy Pelosi, like Chuck Schumer. And if Mr. Trump really had a set of kahunas on him, he would get together some people, a think tank, that would go in and investigate voting ID fraud, and basically discredit any illegal alien that tries to vote. If you're not an American citizen and you're here illegally and you think you're going to vote in a ballot that's in Spanish, and every Spanish ballot should be checked to see if that person is a legitimate legal citizen, and I guarantee you we wouldn't have to put any fucking money to get these people out of Congress. Not a cent. You know, if we just got a think tank that could just check on that. Because what Mel Martinez out of Florida, before he got out of office, told me, because due to the HAVA Act, any illegal could get a driver's license illegally so, and with that driver's license they can vote illegally so. And nobody's going to check it because they're using an ID that says they're an American citizen because you give them a driver's license, and but they're not really an American citizen. They know exactly what they're doing. We had organizations on the left that would sign all these illegals up to vote, and then they would print the ballots in Spanish. Go back to English as the official language. Don't print anything in fucking Spanish, and don't let these illegals vote. And I guarantee you we'll have our country back. With that said, you guys have a great day, and God bless.